HSA every easy. And they are blocking Panamanu. Inti Ebica will say, Young Penny, Omupene, Ochino, Omfabiabra, Omfabian, because it's still for evidence. We know where it's coming from. Boss, nobody, if he, no military man, no police, anybody here today. Never. I swear, no longer. We are here. We won the election, and we are here for them to declare us before we leave here. We have our pick sheet, and we coordinate everything. We know what we are talking about. When you have a good team, you know when we need her recording. So-called interior minister. We've recorded everything. The police people were here. Someone gave gunshot 2 times. They did not take gun from that person. And the person is a recorded bodyguard. And the person is a recorded bodyguard. He gunshot 2. They are working with the police people who want peace. That is why we want
the agents, specifically of the NDC fake ballot papers that have been detected in ballot boxes that have been brought here. I must say that coalition has not started, and also there is alleged that one person has been stabbed, and also gunshots were fired. We are still monitoring the situation, and we'll be updating you as calm has returned at the center, even though people are still agitated and still massing up in their numbers to the coalition center.
Right, so Obed King Gaglo bringing us live visuals from the Ayawaso Central Constituency Coalition Center. A conversation shortly with Dr. The situation there is also not looking too good. Blessing, talk to me.
Out into the premises, that's the Coalition Center for Ablekuma West. Military men are not supposed to be around, especially military men with guns. And we saw them around. That aroused military men that were found here. A few minutes ago, the military men have left the premises, and now people have been allowed into the premises. That's the Coalition Center for Ablekuma West. We are still waiting for the boxes and then the PO to submit the boxes to the officials so we start the counting. So currently we are on the compound, that is Mount Olivet, that's the Coalition Center for Ablekuma West, waiting for what is next. We have the ballot boxes here. The POs have brought them into the premises, and now we are waiting allowed into the premises.
But Blessing, in terms of the constituents who earlier were rejecting the ballot boxes, has that been sorted? Right, I'm asking, earlier you reported on some ballot boxes being rejected by constituents because they say the ballot boxes were without seals. I'm asking if that has been resolved.
Okay, I only have ballot boxes that are not sealed. All the people inside and even the ballot boxes including sealed ones, because they discovered some were not sealed. That is why the boxes were stranded outside the gate. But now the ones that are not sealed have been rejected, and the ones that are sealed have been allowed into the premises.
Right. Well, Blessing, we'll leave you to monitor our situation there, and we will come back to you as and when we have new developments in Ablekuma West. But, Doc, I mean, you heard that. So from Ablekuma West to Ayawaso Central, the contention has been at the coalition centers. Now, you mentioned earlier that you have a challenge with parties talking to their members to get to these centers, because really, what would be their responsibilities there? Are you surprised by what you've seen? Ballot papers being shown to us, allegedly thumbprinted for the MPP's candidate in Ayawaso Central without stamps and all of that. How does that happen at the coalition center?
You see, unless we are not getting explanation from the reporters' world, the question is, I mean, after the election at the polling station, all the materials must be returned to the EC for they take custody of that. Because at the coalition center, in fact, sometimes the coalition center is not even at the EC's office, but the materials will be sent to the EC. But they can decide to do the collation elsewhere. What is collated is the results. that have been declared in the results declared at the various polling stations. And the results are found on the pink sheets.
Right. So at the collation center, what they deal with is not the ballot
they don't
papers.
deal with ballot papers. Unless something is happening that we are not being told yet. The collation centers do not deal with the ballot papers. Now the ballots have been counted at the polling stations. Records of the ballots and all other activities. How many people turned up, who got what, how many papers were issued. Sometimes somebody may have to take two because he used one and they got spoiled. So he can come back until the time that you put it in the listen. You can say, look, I've even changed my mind about whoever I want to vote for. So you can return it and take a new sheet and go and vote. That paper that was not used, or that
was used but not put in the ballot box.
Not put in the number of ballots that participated must be given a copy. That participated must be given a copy. So all the agents, as well as the presiding officers, the rep of the MPP or the NDC or any other party at the collation center, you will take what your own agents at the various should be doing parallel collation. So the parties themselves, as of now, should be knowing who has won where, except if there is a polling station that there are challenges, for which reason we've not added or we cannot add the results. So there is no point whatsoever for anybody to go and fight at the collation center. And indeed, party supporters should not go there because you go
at the collation
they
center.
are not needed.
But when these parties talk about being vigilant and ask their
See,
people
the
to mass up
vigilance
there,
must be your agent.
Can anything untoward happen at the
That is why I need them to come and tell us what can happen. Otherwise, they are leading people, sometimes, forgive me, to perhaps be slaughtered. Because they go there, they don't understand whatever is going on. Now they are fighting over ballot papers.
Yes.
But we don't go collation center.
Because the
except
argument,
where
Doc,
there is...
Right. Because the argument, Doc, is that, well, they saw some people bringing in ballot boxes
yeah.
that they could not, and then the contents thereof
Who is going
changed
to
what has
count
happened.
them?
Right.
Because, I mean, where I vote at Wejagbaru.
Yes. Okay.
I vote at the Anson Senior High School.
Okay.
I mean, there are two, there's a senior high school. And we know that Anson Senior High School, polling station B, this is the results. All the parties have got their representatives there. They must all sign and they take it. Now, if you take the, you smuggle in any new ballot papers, how are you going to get all the other party agents to sign? That's what I'm asking myself. If there is a different explanation, I'm happy to receive it. But for now, I don't get what they are fighting over. And you see, because there is this perception of they are going to steal, it creates that feeling that people do not trust the system.
Right.
But I think we should trust this process. I think it should work. Look, I'm not making a case for the MPP. In 2016, the MPP had a parallel process for coalition. And they knew by midnight getting into 2 a.m. that they had won. And indeed, they started talking and it started creating problems for us. I think it is not right that we are encouraging people to go there. It's only recipe for disaster. Because at this stage, once the parties have got their pink sheets, nobody should be able to steal the election from them. So I'm feeling very sad that this simple process that we should all respect, we seem not to be respecting. And we've created so much mistrust in the process that people can easily get hurt and people can get maimed. And sadly, already vote for people and people should die. It's so needless. So I'm pleading with political party leadership that please do your collation. I mean, and for me, you can even call the election that you won by this margin. I don't care what anybody, calling an election does not mean that you've claimed victory. You've not allowed the EC to do it. If you call it right.
Those the things that breeds problems, chaos, because if they do and the EC announces something which is different,
the EC,
then it's exactly.
So this is simple arithmetic. It's not even mathematics.
But
this process of collation is not mathematics. You are not going to use formulas. It's just addition. You have, this polling station A, NPP got 1, 2, 3. NDC had 1, 4, 5. So you tally them and you put them together. I mean, I love it. 1, 4, 3 plus 2, 4, whatever. I underline it. I put it together. I wait for the next one. I add it. Why should we fight over this?
Doc, well, news coming in from Ewutu East is that 4 persons have been arrested there. We will be getting more details on why those people were arrested and bring that to you very shortly. But also, speaking of persons who are winning, the news and the numbers coming in from Abra Sebu Kwamankese shows that Felix Kwachupusu has won the seat. I mean, no surprise.
It was quite close in the last election.
Yes, very. And he lost by less than 200 votes in 2020.
So it was quite close. And looking at, you see, there's all to say also about the turnout in this election. I have said somewhere else earlier when the turnout was not high, that although this turnout seems to be nationwide, but I felt that the ruling parties fighting to regain things, because it is a major problem for our democracy that I believe our political leaders should begin to sit up and do something about. Because if people lose so much interest, if people are not getting the benefits, the dividends of our democracy, for which reason people are beginning to lose interest, that some places turnout may be as low. I mean, some are hardly doing 50%. I don't think the national average will go anywhere too much above 60%. We'll be lucky to get that. So, and it's an indication to politicians that we are not doing a lot of things right. And there's much to be done.
But Doc,
to gain the trust of people in the system.
And you believe that people are not...
And they are not seeing any results. I vote every time. People in our part of the world, people also may want to travel to their hometowns, to different places where they lived some 4 years ago. To that, what was the sense in my going to vote? What's the hassle? I mean, over the last 2 or 3 difficulty, and people must pay even to get some of these things. So if I sit back and ask myself, in the last 4, 5, 6, or last 4, 8, 12, 16 years, whatever number of years, and I'll tell myself, it's not worth it. I won't go and vote. Somebody will even think that I live in Accra. I have to take trotro from one end to the other side to just go and vote and say, I'm going to spend 20 cedis to travel.
Yeah.
Why should I go? I won't go because I won't get anything out of this. So I think politicians must current
towards the electoral process.
No. Sincerely, no. Sincerely, I didn't get any inclination that people were going to do that. There was, I mean, I've been in Kumasi for some time now. People were initially very skeptical. I know people who told me they won't go and vote. By the last couple of weeks, talking to some of them, they said, yeah, I will now go and vote. But I'm not surprised.
But Doc, I mean, yes, people are unhappy with the system and all that, but do you think that our state institutions like the NCC have been able to educate people on why they need to vote? Because yes, if you're unhappy, isn't that the more reason why you have to vote?
You see, you talk about the NCC. I'm asking, in my mind, maybe I'm speaking too loudly. I'm asking, what has been the relevance of the NCC in the last 32 years? I know one of their talents has been funded, but sincerely, can the NCC tell me today that if they are scrapped? I don't think so.
You don't?
They must just, there seem to be, you see, you talk about politics there, local level elections. People hardly turn up. Did you vote in the last local level election?
No.
So what can I ask?
No, please don't ask me. Please don't ask me.
So you see, at least this election.
But we showed up today.
So even with this, I'm talking about local level election, district when you are choosing an assembly member. So you see, it tells you, because there are no political parties at that level to even do some mobilization. Even with this one, that political parties are doing so well, spending a lot of money, hiring all the buses for themselves, people failed to turn up to vote. So it should speak to us that there is something wrong with our democratic practices.
Okay, Doc, hold on for me. Hold on for me. We understand that the NPP is currently holding a press conference. Let's cross over to them now. Yes.
You can see the demeanor, the high level of uncertainty, you know, from them. They are completely unsettled. And it's simply because, like I always said, one, they were overly complacent. Two, they took the good people of this country for granted, and they assumed that once it is 8 years, they are coming to power. Reality is settling in, and instead of doing a self-check and a reality check and improve upon themselves, they want to inflict upon the entire country the damage that they themselves have brought upon themselves, and they want us to all live in it together. That is what we are not going to allow. And we want to thank every single Ghanaian, every single citizen of this country, both those within and without, those living abroad, for working together with all the institutions and bringing us this far. We encourage everybody to remain calm but extremely vigilant. Trust us. Believe us. This election is going to go to a very sensible conclusion. Nothing else. Trust the MPP on that. It is going to go through a very, very, very successful conclusion, and a very sensible one as that. As usual, the NDC is doing what they know how to do best, behaving in the most irresponsible and disgraceful manner that you can expect from a political party. They are calling on their supporters at this hour. Elections are over. Your supporters were supposed to mobilize the people and get them to their votes, their polling stations, and cast their votes. That is what political parties do. Simple process. Campaign, encourage your supporters to canvass for you, get the voters to go to the polling station, cast their vote for you. Everybody in the full glare of the public, the counting is done at the polling station. You have agents. All the other political parties have agents. You finish, you sign at the polling station that you accept the results at your polling station. When that is done, simple process. Move your pink sheet from the polling station and take it to the constituency coalition center, where you have your agents there with the Electoral Commission. And what is going to happen there center, and that is where those figures are going to be put together and summed up. When that is done, the constituency would, at the regional coalition center, let's use the Eastern Regional Coalition Center, and sum it, and then move it from there and bring it to the center, which is the Electoral Commission here in Accra, and they put together 16 coalition results and we have our elections called. And so it's baffling, extremely baffling to have the NDC behave the manner in which they are behaving. They continue to also peddle some falsehood. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a complete falsehood. It's a complete lie. It's a falsehood. All we saw in that video is Joseph Yamin, the organizer of the NDC in Ashanti region, holding his own phone, having a camera placed on him by his own people in a certain room with no resistance. No owner of the room, no owner of the house, not a single person they met in the room accustomed, standing and having a conversation, cheerfully telling somebody that I've discovered ballot papers. Our checks indicate that, first of all, the room they claim they discovered those ballot papers are not even at the location they indicated. Number two, these are actually ballot papers that Yamin himself took to the Ashanti region for whatever reason. Remember, they had already given some of these ballot papers to the youth organizer of the Atwima-Kwama constituency. The police had already issued a statement on that. We showed a video earlier on, and maybe before I conclude, I'll show that video, where the son of the constituency youth organizer of the Atwima-Kwama constituency was arrested by the Ghana police. For attempting to stuff a ballot box with 79 ballot papers. These ballot papers were part of the ballot papers that you saw Joseph Yamin standing by. What had actually happened was that Joseph Yamin realized that he had 30 minutes for elections to end, and he had not been successful to execute that task that had been given to him by his party. And so to save his face, he all of a sudden goes on video using a selfie and telling the whole country that he's found some ballot papers that belongs to disregard. We are calling on the Ghana Police Service to investigate. To the latter, that video that Joseph Yamin has put out, because they are an absolute threat to the stability of this country. They do not show us the number of the alleged ballot papers. We never see it. We only see some brown boxes or brown papers, in a corner. They do not tell us the exact quantity that they have, because you have the deputy spokesperson of the flag bearer of the opposition party indicating on her Facebook post that they have discovered some 300,000 ballot papers. Then Joseph Yamin says 500,000. Then another NDC person says 400,000. So it tells you the kind of people they are and what it is that they are doing. Again, we do not see any MPP official in the video. So think about this. Joseph Yamin walks into that house seamlessly. The Joseph Yamin we know has a suspicion that there is a ballot paper hidden in the house, would start recording himself from the road before even getting to the gates, before walking into the room. Strangely, Joseph Yamin switches off his phone or his video, breaks into whichever house, opens whichever door, gets into a room, and then only begins to record himself inside a room. These guys really take the entire country completely as fools, because it doesn't just add up. The same Joseph Yamin gets into the room before inviting media. This Joseph Yamin we know, having picked intelligence that there is some ballot papers hidden somewhere by again an MPP stronghold. And then the only evidence you show us is a selfie of yourself in a room, having excitedly telling the person that you've discovered some ballot papers, and then telling us that you are now calling police. We all know the reasons why the NDC are behaving this way. Everybody in this country knows that this is not the first time we are going through this. Unfortunately, as a people, we have to deal with being inflicted with this every single election period. The NDC are clearly losing these elections, and they know it. As we speak, the elections have already been counted at the polling stations. Every political party has copies of the pink sheet. They know it. They know very well they are losing these elections, And that is why they would call for havoc. We are winning these elections as a party. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is winning these elections, and that's why we are saying that let's protect it. If we are winning, why would we want the electoral processes to be disrupted when we are winning? And so, I'm sure a lot of you recall the story in the Bible. I think it's a Solomon story. The story of the two rival women, where they went to sleep, woke up in the morning. If he would please her, give her the child. All this woman sought to do was to make sure that her child does not die. But the other lady that knew that she was guilty, knew that she had already lost her child, was willing for both of them to lose their children. That's exactly what the NDC are doing. They know they've lost. They know they are nowhere near victory in these elections. And that is why they would irresponsibly call on their supporters to move towards the coalition centers to disrupt the coalition centers. Already, we have heard of incidences in some of the constituencies. We saw some on TV, where some NDC persons were somewhere in Dansoman, breaking through the coalition center and basically attacking security services. What is this? At the coalition centers, you have your agents. Why do you want to go and destroy ballot papers and disrupt the electoral process if indeed you are confident that you have won these elections? Why? Why would any political party that is willing and ready to lead this country, why would any political party that is very, very clear in his mind that he has won this election want to disrupt these electoral processes? We will not allow that. Just as we've told you from the get-go, throughout the process, we have blocked each of the ill intent of the NDC. Every strategy they brought into this election has failed. And we are going to continue to ensure that they fail at it. And this one is also going to fail. At this juncture, we are waking every single MPP supporter up. Wake up. Call your families, call your brothers, call your sisters. Go to the coalition centers, protect the EC, help the police protect our electoral system. Our democracy needs to be protected. And it will take the citizens to protect our democracy against this dangerous political party, the NDC. Go there, stand there, touch nobody, but make sure that nobody touches any electoral material. Make sure that nobody touches any security officer, and make sure that nobody touches any electoral officer. If anybody comes to the coalition center and attempts to touch anybody at the coalition center, you have our permission to touch that person. That you have our blessing. And we stand by you for doing the right thing, because that will be a patriotic action. As it stands now, our call and their leader is not a single constituency as we speak. It is a process. As we speak, it is just 9:54. Every constituency you go to, they are tabulating their results. They are collating the pink sheets from the O2. They are tabulating their results. They are collating the pink sheets from the polling station. When they are done, that is when they will lift their hands of the parliamentary candidate that has won, and the electoral officer there, responsible political party. But we should hold on to our numbers and our results until the Electoral Commission declares at the constituency level. Then we'll declare. Throughout the process, from now till tomorrow, any moment that the Electoral Commission lifts the hands of any parliamentary candidates, that is from the MPP, we'll call you. And it is going to be won with intelligence and not with intelligence. And we are going to do it like we've always done it in previous elections. And like I always say, just as it is in the DNA of the NDC, whilst we are thinking and processing and using the due process, they are pumping, like they say it, and they are lifting metals. They have lost. And then they will be there with you. As we speak, Charles, the gentleman who is the son of the UC, is in police custody all alone. All alone. None of the NDC leaders are there with him. He is there to disrupt the peace of this country. You are going to find yourself wanting, and you will be dealt with all alone. I leave all of us with 1 Kings 3:16. 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 16. When you read 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 16, and you understand that parable of the two women, you understand clearly what is happening with the NDC. It is after the December elections, the NDC went on the street only for them 1 year down the line, the chairman of the NDC today, to go campaigning to their followers and tell them that their lawyer actually told them that they have no case and that they have no evidence. But because they wanted to energize the base and not be seen to be weak, they spent the time and wasted everybody's time in the court. That's exactly what they are doing again. We don't mind. They can keep all this emotional roller coaster to themselves and their followers, but they should not draw the entire country into this unnecessary disruption. We would get back to you in due course when the Electoral Commission begin to call the parliamentary and presidential elections at the constituency level, and we share that information with you appropriately. Until then, friends from the media, we are calling on you to work with us to ensure that
collation centers start the process. The MPP now also people to the collation centers and monitor the exercise. But clearly, it tells you that both parties are not leaving any stone unturned, not leaving anything to chance. And we've been joined. His comeback. He's mounted a comeback.
Yes.
Yes. So
there's a comeback.
But Joshua, hold on. Let's go to the Efutu Constituency. What do you have for us, Senna? What's happening?
Yes. So this evening around 8, we all headed to the collation center here in Winneba. That's the police depot in the Efutu constituency. So right there, everything was peaceful until we heard loud noises outside, and then we came. But then we got to know from a witness that during the counting of the votes over at the Zongo community here in Winneba, the opponent reading the NPP asking the NDC where the rejected ballot was, they now took it out, which caused the whole incident to happen. And it was very nasty over here.
This is election night here on your election in that constituency. So that is what you're seeing on your screens right now. Ewutu Senya East has always been a hotspot for the elections, and even though it's disappointing, well, this is the news that is coming from there now. And I'm going to come to you, Dr.
It is because of the native levels in that area is high.
Okay.
We have a lot of young people who don't work in that community, and you why that area used to, that area was a place called.
Okay, Doc, hold on for me. Banahene is back on the line from Kaswa. Banahene, good evening. Thank you for joining us. What's happening?
Okay. So good evening, my dear. In fact, we came back from the
red campaign. They said during the time of voting, nothing much to do. Thank you.
Constituency, Muntaka Mubarak is addressing the media now in the Ashanti region.
For this victory once again, I am so grateful to God, my maker, and the people of Aswanzi. they have made me proud once again for electing me for 6 consecutive time. It is not easy for people to have their trust in one person for this long. For them to have trusted me, it means that they have reposed a lot of confidence in me, and I need to work so hard to justify this. I'm forever grateful to them. I know the voter turnout was very low. We didn't get the kind of turnout that we expected, but nevertheless, we are law-abiding. I will not want to declare myself a winner. I know it is only the Electoral Commission that have to declare the results. But clearly, I can tell you, the difference between me and the MPP candidate is at least more than 10,000 votes. But I know the details will be spelled out at the Electoral Commission office when we get there.
But did you envisage this victory?
Well, obviously, I knew that every means humanly possible to take it. That was when the people of Swansea coined the slogan, "It is love and not money." That was when they coined this. So when I saw the MPP candidate pouring money like granite, I knew that he was wasting his own time, because I knew the people of Swansea very well. They were never willing to sell their seat to the highest bidder. They were always willing to give it to the most decent person and the most respected one. So you cannot use money to ever think that you can be a member of parliament as Swansea. And they have proven it once again, that money cannot buy them. Money cannot influence their conscience. Money cannot get you as Swansea seat. I think this is a lifetime record. I have said that if you want to lead as Swansea, you have to come this by pouring money and giving out gifts as if tomorrow will not come.
Going forward, what should the Swansea constituency expect from Muntaka?
I mean, what I will tell the people of Swansea is that anytime they need me, they can always count on me. That they can continue to count on me. That I will always be there for them, whether rain, shine, whatever. And I know to whom much is given, much is expected. What they have done today clearly shows I have to even work harder than I've been doing. And I have to even be more committed to the people of Swansea than ever before. And that is a promise between me and them, and I am showing them I will do just that by the grace of God.
Thank you very much. So that is the Member of Parliament for Asawase constituency, Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak, confirming to us that he has taken comfortable lead in the parliamentary elections in the Asawase with at least over 10,000 votes difference between him and the MPP's parliamentary candidate Manaf Ibrahim in this contest. Currently, all the polling sheets, that's the pink sheets, have been there, collation. After that, the EC will declare him as the winner for this particular parliamentary elections in Asawase constituency. So for now, Muntaka is projected as the winner of this particular constituency parliamentary election. However, the official statement, it will come from the Electoral Commission, but we can only project him as a winner with difference of 10,000 votes in the Asawase constituency. The constituents are happy. They started celebrating before Muntaka came out because he projected the result.
Right, so you saw scenes, videos from the Asawase constituency in the Ashanti region, where the incumbent Member of Parliament, Muntaka Mubarak, who says that he cannot declare himself a winner, but from the results that he has, and which our correspondent has confirmed, he's in a very comfortable lead with over in himself and Manaf. No surprises there for many people. But back in the studio, I'm here with Dr. Adam Buna. I'm here with Joshua.
An area, a violent-prone area when it comes to elections.
Okay.
And also maybe, so yeah, West Africa, where every West African will go to West Africa, where every West African will go to Nigerians, that's the culture, a lot of things taking place. And I think that just recently we had the place have become, what do you call that, a police region. So once they elevated it, I think it was under Dampare or so, once they elevated it to a police region, then the incidents of violent crimes came down because then I think they put a bit of resources or a lot of resources into the community. Dealing with issues of Kaswa, one very sensitive matters. Those days, if you wanted to talk about where a lot of things happen, you won't forget our shaman. But it looks like Kaswa is now the new kid on the block. So you hardly will hear a shaman in the doing all the bad things. These days it is Kaswa, tomorrow is Kaswa, the next day is Kaswa, someone is dead, is Kaswa, there's traffic, 6 hours to get home, is Kaswa, and all those things. So I think that whoever will
find a way to allow these individuals to infiltrate into the system, then it tells you the level to which you're going to put yourself into trouble. So I believe that, again, here we are just expressing our views. Why is it that we should kill each other? Why is it that we should maim one another just for people to take up political office? It doesn't look right for me. And I hope we will begin to put in place systems of poverty that we're talking about. Remember, Central Region has that enclave. You look at the development of that area. It is rapidly opportunities that normally there are no major businesses being established there. It is all to do with business is bad for violence. I think if that place had not been declared a police.
Dr. Adam Bona, who is also a security and...
As the new host. I'm going to host the program. Definitely.
Lady Mohammed and Benis takes over the show. Thank you so much for watching. Continue to follow us on our social media pages. Joshua,
please stay to you. But
it's been expected. The majority of Ghanaians are expecting Mahama to be sworn in on the 7th of January 2024. And that's exactly what they want. If the mandate of the people is stolen, this country will be something else, because we are in a democracy. When your time is due and you have to go out, go away, let another president come in. Other than that, you don't know what is going to happen. But for today, now that voting hasn't started, we don't know what is going to happen. But to the best of my knowledge, to bring violence, we are going to actually reply in equal.
Did you get here?
I got here around 4.
Okay, so what you got here, what was your observation?
I think the EC was already here by that.
Have you seen any ballot paper here yet? What are your expectations today?
The normal, this is what has been happening previous years will continue this year as well.
Okay.
Have to get the banner.
Okay.
Have to get the banner. Is the guy right to protest or to say something about it?
Actually, what does the law say? The law says that. What does the law say? What does the law say?
Yeah. We don't know much because people are ahead of us.
No. You are.
I've been doing the election. We don't have to campaign.
Yeah.
And this one is a sign of indirect campaigning.
They said during the time of voting, nothing must be seen around. Is that not what the law says?
Yes, please.
There is something is seen around. What do they have to do? They have to remove it. Okay. Because that's what the law says. So the people are right that they must remove it.
Thank you.
To see collation centers. We have audio, we have ECOWAS, we have AU,
the candidates have been very cooperative
with respect to party, political party or candidates agents, collation centers. Most of the candidates have their agents currently at the collation centers where collation is ongoing. The candidates have been very cooperative at the constituency collation centers so far, and we still urge them to cooperate with the Commission to ensure a seamless collation process or exercise. With respect to the media, the Commission appreciates the high level of their professionalism demonstrated so far. But we, however, urge the media to always verify or cross from here. We will be heading towards the collation center, the National Collation Center, and wait for the results from the regions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Who is that? There are questions.
From our experts and election data
were to be sent to the district offices, so that the pink sheet, that's the Form 8, the pink sheet, that's the Form 8A and B, probably that collation center may be what? A district office. So that's the difference.